honestly love you. Will always love you.
You think these 1974 love songs become classics because of their melodies? The truth behind them is more interesting than that. One song helped save a legendary group's career when many believed it was coming to an end. Another refused to give listeners the happy ending they expected. And one unlikely duet brought together two very different musical worlds to create something unforgettable.
If you happen to see the most beautiful girl.
Once you know the stories behind these timeless songs, you'll never hear them quite the same way again.
Don't love me for fun, girl. Let me be the
Number 15. Love Me for a Reason by the Osmonds.
love me for a reason, and let the reason be.
By 1974, many people believed the Osmonds had already enjoyed their biggest successes. The screaming crowds were fading, musical tastes were changing, and the brothers needed something that would prove they had grown beyond their teen idol image.
Never know, girl, if I should stay or go.
Then came Love Me for a Reason. Instead of youthful excitement, they embraced a more mature message about wanting to be loved for who you truly are. The song became their final major international hit.
Any way you please, it must be easy for you.
And reminded audiences there was still more to the Osmonds than nostalgia. If you remember hearing it on the radio, you probably heard a beautiful love song. What you were really hearing was a group quietly proving they still belonged.
But just a pastime for you, I could never be.
Sometimes growing up becomes the greatest comeback of all. Love, though, doesn't always reward us with that kind of hopeful ending.
You can sell your paintings on the sidewalk.
Number 14. Please Come to Boston by Dave Loggins.
Please come to Boston, she said no.
Most love songs promise that everything will work out in the end. Dave Loggins chose a different path. Please Come to Boston
Number one fan of the man from Tennessee.
follows a restless dreamer who keeps asking the woman he loves to join him in another city, convinced happiness is waiting somewhere else. She never says yes. The song simply ends, leaving listeners to imagine what happened next. That bittersweet uncertainty became its greatest strength because real life rarely gives us perfect endings either. If this song ever found you during a quiet drive or a lonely evening, you may have created your own ending without even realizing it. Some of the most unforgettable love stories are the ones that never completely finish. And sometimes, instead of drifting apart, two completely different paths come together.
Every time I'm near you.
Number 13, Then Came You, by the Spinners and Dionne Warwick. Nobody expected Dionne Warwick and the Spinners to sound this perfect together. She came from elegant pop. They were defining the smooth sound of Philadelphia soul. On paper, the pairing seemed unlikely. Producer Tom Bell believed their differences were exactly what the song needed, and he was right. Instead of competing for attention, Warwick's graceful vocals blended effortlessly with the group's harmonies, creating one of the most memorable duets of 1974. It became the first #1 pop hit for both acts and gave Warwick's career fresh momentum. Proving that sometimes the most beautiful partnerships are the ones nobody sees coming. Finding the right partner can change everything. Sometimes finding the right song can do exactly the same.
No cigarettes, no sleep, no light.
Number 12, The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies.
Let me peaceful and tight.
One of the most beautiful love songs of the 70s wasn't actually born with the Hollies. Years before they recorded it, another artist released the song, and almost nobody noticed. It quietly disappeared until the Hollies heard something others had missed.
Can't think of anything
They slowed it down, surrounded it with rich harmonies, and transformed it into the haunting classic millions would eventually embrace. If you remember hearing it late at night on the radio, it probably felt as though it had always existed. In reality, it almost slipped away unnoticed. Sometimes a great song doesn't need to be rewritten. It simply needs the right voices to bring it to life. And once a song finds its perfect home, sometimes the smartest decision is knowing not to change it.
Precious love, you held
Number 11. You Make Me Feel Brand New by the Stylistics. Stylistics producer Tom Bell heard something special the moment the recording ended. Others wondered if it should be shortened for radio, but Bell refused to rush it. He believed the song's emotional power came from giving every note room to breathe.
how I feel, my love.
That decision became one of the reasons it still feels so elegant today. Instead of chasing trends, the Stylistics trusted the song exactly as it was. If this beautiful ballad reminds you of a wedding, a first dance, or someone who made you feel truly appreciated, you're not alone. Sometimes the moments we treasure most aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones that were given the time they deserved.
Created everything I am.
Then again, not every timeless love song begins as a classic. Some have to wait years before the world is ready to fall in love with them. Number 10. Everlasting Love by Carl Carlton. Most people think Carl Carlton created Everlasting Love. He didn't. The song had already been a hit years earlier. But like so many great recordings, it slowly slipped from the spotlight. Carlton heard something that others had forgotten. Rather than simply copying the original, he filled it with fresh energy, brighter rhythms, and joyful confidence that made it feel brand new. His version became one of the defining love songs of 1974 and introduced the classic to an entirely new generation. If this song brings back memories of summer drives or packed dance floors, you're hearing proof that some songs never grow old. They simply wait for the right voice to bring them back to life. And sometimes, the right voice is the one that's been waiting patiently for the right song. Number 9. Until You Come Back to Me, That's What I'm Gonna Do, by Aretha Franklin. One of Aretha Franklin's greatest recordings almost stayed hidden forever. Stevie Wonder wrote Until You Come Back to Me while he was still a teenager. But the song was quietly set aside after another artist chose not to record it. Years later, Aretha Franklin discovered it and immediately heard its potential. She slowed the tempo, added her unmistakable soul, and transformed quiet determination into one of her signature performances. If you've ever refused to give up on someone you truly loved, you've probably felt every word she sings. Sometimes a remarkable song doesn't arrive too early or too late. It simply waits for the artist who understands its heart. Believing in yourself can rescue a forgotten song. Believing in yourself can also change an entire career. Number 8. Feel Like Makin' Love by Roberta Flack. At the height of her success, Roberta Flack made a decision that almost no woman in the music business was making at the time. She wanted complete creative control, so she secretly produced Feel Like Makin' Love herself. Under the name Rubina Flake. Uncertain whether her record company would accept a female producer, the gamble worked beautifully. The song became another #1 hit. and proved she could shape every part of her music, not just sing it. If this song reminds you of warm summer evenings or slow dances beneath the stars, you're hearing more than a beautiful performance. You're hearing an artist quietly proving she belonged behind the recording console.
Watching winter turn to spring.
Just as much as behind the microphone. Confidence has a remarkable way of inspiring confidence in others.
We both know I got somewhere else.
Number 7. I Honestly Love You by Olivia Newton-John.
I honestly love you.
Olivia Newton-John wasn't convinced I Honestly Love You was the right song for her. Neither was her record company. The gentle ballad seemed too quiet and too vulnerable to become a major hit.
Better late than said.
But Olivia trusted the honesty in the lyrics and decided to record it anyway. She was right. The song earned her the first Grammy Awards of her career and revealed a deeper, more intimate side of her voice.
It's coming from my heart and not my head.
If you've ever caught yourself softly singing along, you already know its power doesn't come from dramatic emotion. It comes from simple truth. Sometimes the bravest words we ever speak are also the quietest. And sometimes,
I got something to tell you that I never thought
the
of.
deepest feelings don't take years to write. They arrive all at once, when the moment is exactly right.
Let me love you. Let me give
Number 6. Annie's Song by John Denver.
down beside you. Let me always.
Some songwriters spend months searching for the perfect love song. John Denver found his in the time it took to ride a ski lift. Surrounded by the beauty of the Colorado mountains,
Fill up my senses.
he suddenly felt overwhelmed by his love for his wife, Annie. Before the lift reached the top, the melody and nearly every lyric had already formed in his mind. He hurried home and wrote the song almost exactly as we know it today.
Like a storm in the desert. Like a
If you've ever struggled to put your deepest feelings into words, this song probably said them for you. Sometimes the most beautiful expressions of love don't come from endless revisions. They arrive all at once, as though they were simply waiting to be found.
like the mountains in springtime.
Not every unforgettable love song speaks so softly.
What can I say? What am I gonna do? How should I feel?
Number 5. Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe by Barry White.
Girl, I don't know why. Can't get enough of your love.
Long before Barry White became the unmistakable voice of romance, record executives weren't convinced his deep, spoken style belonged on the radio.
Some things I can't get used to. No matter how I try.
They believed his voice was simply too different. Barry refused to change. Instead, he built his music around that rich, unmistakable sound, letting every string, every rhythm, and every pause draw listeners closer. The risk transformed him into one of the defining romantic artists of the decade.
It's like the more you give, the more I want. And maybe that's no.
If you still smile the moment you hear him begin to sing, you're hearing the very quality others once thought would hold him back. Sometimes the thing that makes us different becomes the very reason we're remembered.
Kind of love is this that you're giving me? Is it in your kiss?
Love can make us feel understood. It can also leave us wondering whether forgiveness is truly deserved.
I woke up this morning, realized
Number 4. The Most Beautiful Girl by Charlie Rich. Few love songs
I stood alone in the cold gray dawn. Knew I'd lost
have sparked as much debate as The Most Beautiful Girl. On the surface, it sounds like a heartfelt apology from a man desperate to win back the woman he loves.
Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I
But over the years, many listeners have questioned whether the regret feels sincere or simply arrives too late. Charlie Rich never answered that question. He let every listener decide for themselves. Perhaps that's why the song continues to resonate decades later. If you've ever wondered whether someone truly deserved a second chance, you've already become part of the story. The most memorable songs don't always give us answers. Sometimes they leave us with questions that stay with us for years.
If you happen to see the most beautiful girl,
And perhaps the greatest goodbye ever written didn't sound like goodbye at all. Number 3, I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton. One of the greatest love songs ever written wasn't written for a romance at all. Dolly Parton wrote I Will Always Love You to say goodbye to the man who helped launch her career, Porter Wagoner. After years of performing together, she knew it was time to leave his television show and build a future on her own. Rather than argue or walk away in anger, she poured everything she wanted to say into one song. When Wagoner finally heard it, he was deeply moved. If this song has ever reminded you of someone you had to leave behind, you're hearing exactly what Dolly intended. Sometimes the truest expression of love is having the courage to let go with grace instead of regret. And sometimes love isn't about saying goodbye. It's about promising you'll always be there.
And you were frightened by the clown.
Number 2, You and Me Against the World by Helen Reddy.
You and me against the world.
Most people hear You and Me Against the World as a romantic ballad. Helen Reddy heard something much more personal. She dedicated the song to her young daughter, giving the lyrics an entirely different meaning.
When all the others turn their backs and walk away.
Suddenly, what sounded like a love song between two adults became a touching promise between a parent and a child. Families everywhere embraced it as their own, proving that great songs often belong to whoever needs them most. If you've ever held someone's hand through life's difficult moments, these words probably reached you in ways no chart position ever could. Sometimes love isn't measured by romance. It's measured by the people we never stop protecting. Love can comfort. Love can inspire. And sometimes, it can also challenge the world around us. Number 1, You Haven't Done Nothin' by Stevie Wonder. It sounds joyful, it sounds irresistible, but You Haven't Done Nothin' was never meant to be a love song. Stevie Wonder wrote it as a fearless protest against President Richard Nixon during one of the most turbulent years in American history. Wrapped inside an infectious funk groove was a message of frustration, accountability, and hope for change. Many listeners found themselves dancing before realizing what the lyrics were really saying. Released as the Watergate scandal reached its dramatic conclusion, the song became one of the boldest statements of Stevie Wonder's career. It proved that music can make us smile while still speaking uncomfortable truths. And sometimes the sweetest melody carries the strongest message. The greatest love songs don't stay with us simply because they reach the top of the charts. They stay with us because they become part of our own stories. Long after the record stops spinning and the radio grows quiet, these songs still remind us of first loves, difficult goodbyes, family, friendship, and moments we'll never forget. Perhaps that's why they continue to touch new generations, even decades later. Thank you for taking this journey back to 1974 with us. Until next time, keep the music playing, keep the memories alive, and keep celebrating the songs that never stop speaking to the heart.
When you're on the street, you got to